All right, so with that, we now move forward to a presentation. In fact, we would like to share here, like Prestige Group, the real estate giant, ventured into retail with their first mall in 2004 in Bangalore. Now, in 16 years and with 9 malls, Forum came to be the biggest success stories in the Indian retail scenario. In 2020, however, the group divested its businesses and left us with many questions indeed. Now, why did the pioneers of the mall business dispose of its malls? Now, what has happened to that brand called Forum? So, to answer these questions and give you a glimpse of Forum and its vision for the future, that's what our next presentation is all about. So we'll go ahead and invite the CEO of Forum Malls onto the stage. Could we have a huge round of applause as I invite Mr. Muhammad Ali onto the stage, please?
A very good afternoon to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. Well, this question has been going around. A big stake sale did happen during the pandemic. So I have put the answer right on top, hitting the nail on the head. What worked then won't work now. Now, before I get into the malls, let's understand what happened at the beginning of the 21st century, like 2000 onwards, and compare it with what happened 2020 onwards. Within 20 years, analyze the change. A few things that I can highlight is that who could have thought that Booking.com will sell more hotel rooms than anybody in the world without owning a single property? Who would have thought that Uber will be the largest cab service provider in the world without owning a single vehicle? Yeah? These are the changes which have happened. You couldn't have thought about them. Now, coming to malls, I'll answer this from our own perspective. What worked then and why it won't work now. I was part of the team who opened the first mall in Bangalore, 2004, the first multiplex and the first mall with multiplex to open in Bangalore. And 2002 is when I joined Prestige, so 2 years making of that mall. What worked then was this. The scenario at that time, early 2000, customer had to go to the product, whether it was shopping, whether it was entertainment, or whether it was food. These options were available, but a customer had to go to the product. The USP was to put them under one roof, and that really worked for us. In fact, it worked for many, because the concept of mall was proved, the success was there, 700 malls came up, we built 9 malls. Now, why it won't work now? Today, the product comes to the customer. You just heard what these gentlemen were talking about, right? A product comes to the customer where customer is on his mobile. Entertainment comes to the customer where a customer is. Food comes to the customer faster than you think. So we believe in this scenario, what worked then won't work now. So we built those malls with a lot of passion, but then we felt that there is a challenge and we had to address them, and we had 2 options. One was renovate, and second was innovate. We chose the latter. And the reason why we did that, I'd like to use a small analogy. Let's understand this diagram. This is the life cycle of a butterfly. It's very strange. Only creature in the world starts with an egg, becomes a caterpillar, and is living his peaceful life, no problem. It's crawling, eating, just like any other creature in the world. But something happens. The caterpillar says, I don't want to crawl anymore. I want to fly. I want wings. So that process is not easy, because it's not about renovation, it's about innovation. So it goes through a process of chrysalis, goes into a cocoon, and after that process is over, when it comes out, it is a butterfly. Something similar happened with us as far as mall is concerned. Prestige is under various facets of business, but I'm speaking on behalf of malls. We opened our first mall in 2004. We built 9 malls. We had malls. They were fine, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, 3 lakh, 4 lakh. They were there. It was all fine. But we went through this process of reimagining the mall business. And we came up with a new story of Forum 2.0. Now, that's what I'm here for, to share with you. There are many aspects to the 2.0. It's not just the size. Yeah, all the malls that we are building are 1 million plus, but it's not the size. There are 1 million square feet malls, many in the country. So it's not about 1 million square feet. There are many aspects. Unfortunately, due to the time restriction, I won't be able to cover all, but I'd like to touch upon a few things in a different way. Firstly, the stakeholder partnership. Why it's important to understand this. There are 3 stakeholders in our business: mall developers, retailers, and the third one is the customer. We both have common interest. We can collaborate, these kind of avenues. But the third one is complicated. The customer. That's what we serve. He decides the success. And when it comes to customer, as somebody very nicely put, they don't know what they're going to do. They don't know why they shop. It's like customers today are buying things they don't need with money they don't have to impress people they don't know. So how do you understand them? Yeah? So in order to connect with them, to get them into a property, the consuming customers, the customers with high disposable income, with propensity to spend, you need to speak way beyond the initial USP of everything under one roof. That won't work. A few things that we are doing and a few things that I'll touch upon. First is culture. A man can think about apparel 10 times a year, buy 10 times a year, fashion. Think about food 3 times a year. But anything to do with passion, with culture, with music, with art, they think about every hour, probably every minute, every time they get. So that is something that needs to come into our properties. Now what we are doing, the Forum Mall in South Bangalore at Falcon City, Kanakpura Road, 1 million square feet mall, little over 1 million square feet, about to open in October 2022. We have 1,200-seater auditorium, state-of-the-art auditorium, designed for theater, live music, performance arts, connected with the mall, where these cultural events can happen. I'm just giving one example because I don't have time for all. Second is technology. So much was spoken. Now, it's unfortunate that we invest in technology, retailers invest in technology. We have our data, you have your data. So we are protecting them like a firewall. I don't know why. Unless we collaborate on that data, facial recognition cameras, number plate recognition cameras, and so much is there with us, so much is there with you. Where is the collaboration happening? Because of this restriction, fear, Nike's data will go to Adidas and they'll lose the customers. Because of this fear, interpretation is not happening and we are not able to serve the customer the way we are supposed to serve. That is missing. And that's what we want to change, which is something that we will discuss with all the retailers whom we have signed. We are already discussing with them and how to collaborate. We have tied up with a technology partner who will do this for us. So you don't have to give the data to us. We can work with the technology partner. Another aspect, very quickly touching upon things, is infrastructure. Now, in Forum at Falcon City, South Bangalore, we have 20,000 square feet of space kept for fulfillment center. What is this fulfillment center? It's a 6-meter height space inside the mall, FSI space. And we have spoken with the logistics partner. Now, this infrastructure would clear your storage space issues. In fact, you can store more than what your actual area is. Now, the cost is huge, so we have done our work, we have the space, but you retailers need to believe in it and invest in it, because ultimately, if you guys don't use, the space will go for waste. And this is something that we will connect with you, discuss with you, and there's a financial model because it has to self-sustain, but it is to free that space, the retail space within your stores. And lastly, the main topic that we are going to touch upon, renewable and sustainable. We have something called V-Shop. Small shops, about 15 numbers, located in prime locations of the mall. We have so many entrepreneurs coming with sustainable products, some organic products. This is for them who are startups. So we are encouraging them to come and take space with us. Now, touched upon a few things apart from everything else that usual mall have. Now, with this, ladies and gentlemen, we have a huge plan. And this is the project lineup. We have about 7 million square feet under production. 3 are going live this year. By December 2022, we would have opened 3 of them. Most of them are million square feet. And when I say they are 2.0, this is how it looks. I mean, this is the Forum South Bangalore. Now, this is the new version that we are talking about. Binoy is smiling at me. It is designed by them. Now, if you see the way this mall, if you see the terrace is activated, all our vertical transportation goes up to terrace, can house 3,000 people live performance. Behind this is where the auditorium is. So we can have 5,000 ticketed events in a day. That's how much capacity this mall has, apart from everything that I mentioned. Of course, we have a huge anchor list and huge tenant mix, which is to follow. These are the interior images of the Forum Falcon City. Very different, high street kind of stores, the right side, inside the mall. And if you see the roof there, it has sunlight seeping in directly, reducing the energy costs by about 80% during the day. And this is our mall coming up. This is the auditorium that I was speaking about. This is the 1,200-seater auditorium connected with Forum Falcon City. And then this is how our Forum Chennai Mall is. Again, very different, thinking out of the box. These are terraces facing the ocean. And if you see the center portion between the columns, that is where the amphitheater is, which is also facing the ocean, where events can take place. And in Chennai, you can't have a liquor license unless you have a 5-star hotel associated with you. So that's the Marriott Hotel. Those 3 floors is the Marriott Hotel sitting right on top of the mall. Now, this is at the beginning of OMR. So, ladies and gentlemen, my time is up. It's showing there. But this is the new story of Forum. And very quickly, just 60 seconds, I can't go with the new properties, with the new features, with an old logo. So hence, this is our first logo. So to go back to the market, we took some inspiration from the word F, Forum, what Forum stood for. And we played with it. We appointed one of the best ad agencies in the country, and they played with the fonts of the word F, because that was the name. And then the first logo was butterfly, so the font changed as butterfly. So when I inverse it, it actually becomes a butterfly. Now to add some color, because we don't want to be mellow, so we took 4 colors. One stands for passion, red is for passion, orange is for celebration, teal is for escape, and purple is for indulgence, which created the logo for us, the Forum. This is the new face, the new product from Prestige, 8 malls, 7 million square feet, starting 2022. Thank you. I had to tell this story myself. We built those malls with a lot of passion, and we believe in them. But only that this is a decision we had to take. It was a hard decision, but we strongly believe in the decision that we have made, and we believe that we are more relevant now than ever before. Thank you.